Yo, what's going on, ladies and gents? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today we're once again back on Fortnite Battle Royale, and I wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks to getting more solo wins here in Fortnite Season 10. I know with this new season, a lot of you guys have been back to playing this game religiously, and I wanted to share with you guys a few things that I think you can incorporate into your gameplay to not only help yourself become a better player, but like the title says, to get more solo wins. So without further ado, let's jump right into some of these tips. So the first tip that I have for you guys is a long time tip that not only myself has given out, but I'm sure a lot of other YouTubers as well as professional players have used, and that's to use noob skins to throw off other players in the match. Now this is an old one, and a lot of people think that this is washed up and an overused tip nowadays, but I think that this is always going to be very important to do, just because it doesn't take any skill at all whatsoever to use this tip to do better. When you're using the noob skins, this is kind of like a conscious thing. When you're, for example, let's say you're playing and you run into somebody that's using a noob skin, you instantly think that, okay, they're probably not that good. Unless they start building the Taj Mahal, obviously, you're going to assume that they're probably not the best of players. One thing I would recommend doing is not just necessarily running the 100% noob skin that you get at the very beginning of the game, but use like one of the regular skins that you get at level 1 of the Battle Pass of like Season 4 or something super basic that players are going to assume aren't that good. You think about it when you're running around the map, you see a max Battle Pass skin, you assume that player is really good, right? So you're like, okay, now I got to go my hardest against this guy. But if you see someone with a noob skin, you're probably going to let your guard down and go after them a little more lightly and make it easier for them to maybe catch you off guard and get the elimination. So think of that vice versa. If you're using that noob skin, say a player comes running up on you, they're probably going to be a little bit more loose when they come running towards you rather than if you're running one of the max Battle Pass skins. So I think that this is always going to be a conscious thing that people are always just going to assume in the moment that the noob skin is probably a bad player. So using that is the best thing that you can do. Even if it doesn't work, it doesn't take any skill, any effort. It is literally just the skin that you're running. So that is a very important tip that I think all of you should be using. The second tip is don't carry more heals than you need. I see this so much more nowadays because there are so many more things in the game that you can use. Obviously, the Chug Splash was recently added. We have minis, we have big shields, we have Chug Jugs, Slurp Juices, med kits, bandages. There's literally all kinds of heals in the game nowadays, and I think that players are carrying more than they need. If you guys used to watch Old Ninja, he used to only run minis, and a lot of the professional players only ran minis. Hell, some of them now don't even run any meds. They just grab them off the players that they take out. But I think that a lot of players, average players at least, are starting to use way more meds than they need, and I think you should cut down on that. I'm going to make a video soon giving you guys the best class setup to do well and to get more wins with, but I think that you should not be getting 2 slots full of meds. I think that you should only have 1 slot for meds, and I think that that should be minis, but we'll talk about that in another video. But again, guys, don't run too many meds. Don't be running around with minis, big shields, slurp juices. Don't have 3 slots taken up with meds. Don't have 2 slots taken up with meds. 2 is max. But I would recommend 1. Figure out what you like the most. I think minis are probably the best way to go unless you can get a bunch of chug splashes. But yeah, guys, we'll talk about that in another video. But again, don't carry more heals than you need. The third tip. Create first shot advantage multiple times during the same gunfight. Now, this is very, very important, and I want to explain this so that you guys can pretty much understand what I'm saying. When you're in a gunfight, let's say, for example, you get in a gunfight and you create first shot advantage. So you hit the guy, let's say you hit him for 60 shield, and he starts building everywhere. You don't want to just stand there and start shooting and run at him, because most likely what he's going to do is he's going to stop building, he's going to poke up and start shooting at you, and then he's going to have the first shot advantage. He's going to create the first shot advantage after that one resets, right? So what you want to do is you want to create that first shot advantage multiple times in the same gunfight. So let's say, for example, we shoot at the guy, we hit him for a few shield, he starts building. We're going to start building, and we're going to recreate the gunfight again. We're going to start all over. So we've already damaged him. We're going to reset the gunfight, and we're going to create that first shot advantage again. We don't want to give up any shots. We don't want them to hit us. We don't want to run at them, give him a few shots, and then start building. We want to make sure he doesn't hit us at all. So we're going to constantly create that first shot advantage and then rebuild, reset the gunfight so that we have a better chance of winning. This is kind of one of those tips that goes for winning more gunfights, but this is so crucial. A lot of players will just get into the gunfight and just start going all in. You want to take it slow and reset the gunfight all the time. You want to constantly create that first shot advantage so you can win the gunfight and not have any damage taken taken away from you. So this works really, really well. Hopefully I explain that enough to where you understand what I'm saying. But trust me, this tip is very, very crucial, and it's going to help you win literally almost all of your gunfights if you do it right. The fourth and final tip that I want to share with you guys for this video is to memorize different location strategies, and that's for when the bus takes different routes. I haven't been playing a lot of solos recently because I've really been enjoying Team Rumble, and obviously there's 2 different bus paths, but when you're playing solo, obviously the bus is going to go in different directions. And a lot can change, whether you're dropping right under the bus or you're dropping far away from the bus, you're flying across the map. So you want to know different strategies that you can use from different sides of the map. Not necessarily one location. Obviously, there's loot strategies where if you land Salty Springs, you probably have a favorite house. You probably have a certain route that you like to run in Salty Springs. But what you need to do is think about a strategy for the entire map, right? Okay, if I'm going to land at Salty, maybe next I'm going to go to the house on the hill. That's my main strategy, right? I'll like going to the house on the hill. I'll hit the house on the top. I'll hit the 2 houses on the bottom. I'll head towards Salty. I'll knock out whoever's left in Salty. I'll get whatever loot is left. I'll hit the house outside of Salty, and by that point, the circle's moving in, and I can decide which way I need to go towards the next circle. So you need to have a loot location strategy that you can plan out on each different area of the map. So if the bus goes on the northern portion of the map, you have a spot for Pleasant Park. You know where you want to go after that, what you want to do. If the map or if the bus goes on the southern portion of the map, you can land Paradise, you can land Fatal. You can kind of have your own strategy there. But you need to know different strategies and not just use the same one over and over again. What I used to do is I used to always drop retail regardless of where the bus was going, and that worked some games. But when the bus was far away and I had to fly across the entire map, by the time I would get there, the circle would be moving, and it would just make it more difficult. Or if the bus went right over it, then a million people would drop there, and it just became more challenging. So you need to really have different strategies for different portions of the map. This will make your life so much easier when it comes to making it further in solo games. But those are the 4 tips that I wanted to share with you guys in this video. There is going to be a part 2 to this very, very soon. I have a few more tips that I think a lot of you are really going to want to hear. But those are the 4 that I'm going to share with you guys in this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys have any questions or anything else to add on these tips, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to try and help some of you guys out. You guys can also reach me on Twitter, Instagram at DylanFurrow. Links to all my social media can be found down in the description. But again, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.